All right, so for the last part of our program or my documentary, I'm going to go through the documentary portfolio assignment that was completed 3 days ago, How We Treat the Planet by me, Justin McKinnon. Like I said, what is the problem with the planet? And as you can see here, there's a lot of plastic that we really just cannot truly get rid of. And as you can see, it flows into our oceans and rivers and stuff like that. Every day, 8 million pieces of plastic makes it into our oceans. As you can see here, plastic is on our beaches, in our rivers and oceans. And that, who does that harm? Well, it harms us at the end of the day, but it also harms animals like these sea turtles that end up eating these plastics, or even animals that end up getting entangled in these plastics, like again sea turtles, even some dolphins in some cases, and other small fish and stuff like that. They get entangled and stuff, and they end up dying. And it really is a shame that because of our plastic and the stuff that we produce, that we throw back into our oceans, ends up harming us and ends up harming the animals that we end up having to consume, and thus we end up eating the plastic that we throw away. Um, the world produces 381 million tons of plastic waste yearly. This is at the double by 2038, 34. As you can see here, all this plastic in our oceans. All right. Um, Plastic is cheap to produce and very versatile, but most of it ends up in our landfills. As you can see here, plastic forks, spoons, and knives. And it's just a ton of like bottle caps and stuff like that. All of this stuff, it's stuff that we use on a daily basis and stuff that we produce on a daily basis, and thus ends up back into our oceans eventually. There have been campaigns to try to limit the amount of pollutions, but the rates still continue to grow. And that is just because people don't really care, I feel. It's because if you really cared about the planet that you were living on and making sure that we actually leave it better than where we came to it, um, you'd end up giving back at least a little bit, because I think that each one of us can give back at least a little bit, and a lot of us don't give back at all. And so it just ends up in our landfills, and we end up um polluting more than we do actually trying to like reuse some of this stuff. And it's actually really a shame, but yeah, our rates still continue to grow. And what can we do? You can make sure that we reuse our materials, reduce the amount of materials that we use, and of course recycle them, making sure that we can use them for different things, so that we can at least have some of these materials flow back in this kind of circle, where if we use something, all right, well, we can use it again and again, and eventually if we can't use it anymore, we can turn it into something else and make so that we're not filling up our landfills and stuff like that. But yeah, that is truly the end of my documentary on plastic and what it does to the planet.